If you could tell your parents one thing without consequence repercussions, what would it be? You're an alcoholic, Mom. You've lost every single person dear to you. Go to rehab, or you'll end up dead in your own home really soon. Consider sharing this with her. I've cut her out of my life. She doesn't want help. This divorce is not your damn fucking fault. It just didn't work out. Now get over yourself and be a parent for me. Agreed. These days divorced couples tend to use the kids as weapons to damage each other and end up screwing up the kids. The problem is that my dad, an extrovert, is trying to make it up to me, an introvert. I honestly liked being around him more before the divorce because, although it was from alcoholism, he gave me my space when I wanted space. Now, he is trying to make it up to me by trying to do more and more with me, which just makes me hate the weeks that I am with him. I didn't go to uni because I wanted a degree. I went so I could make new friends and enjoy life without your illogical rules over me. Graduate with a 2:1 and then tell you both to go fuck yourselves for saying I'd only be stacking shelves in a supermarket. I wish you lived closer to me and my family, or at least made plans to visit us as regularly as you visit my brothers. I'm jealous that you spend weekends visiting them and their families, but only spend a few hours with mine. I have a 7-month-old son who you have barely met, but insist I drive an hour each way to my brother's house while you're in town. I've invited you to stay at our house, but you've even declined our invitation to spend Christmas here because you always spend it with my brother, and his kids won't understand why you aren't there. Maybe your family sucks. It does at times, but my parents are truly wonderful people. I agree with another Redditor who said I'm not the favorite. Their grandchildren are the favorites, more specifically their granddaughters. As much as you both drive me crazy, you're great parents. And now that you're in your late 70s, I live every day terrified that this will be your last day. I don't know how I'll get by when you're gone. Because I said so, is the lamest reason to do not do anything. Hated this as a kid. I will do what you're asking, but is it really such a crime that I just want to know why you said so? As a parent, this is 100% accurate. If you don't address their questions and curiosities, you suck. I was the one that scratched my name into the TV stand when I was a kid. I blamed it on my sister, and we were so young, and she picked on me so often that she's thought this whole time she probably did do it. We're both in our late 20s now, but yeah. Sorry, Mom. I paid for college by selling mushrooms. They just thought I was clever with a dishwashing job. That you both need intense therapy and probably a divorce. My parents would have saved themselves and the family a whole lot of heartache if they hadn't waited until 2008, 22 years, to divorce. It was clear from even when I was young that they had grown into two entirely different people and no longer had anything in common. I will say that my parents did a lot of things right. They treated my siblings and I great, instilled good values and discipline, but they sure as shit did not teach us what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like. You and Dad need to stop spending every penny on drugs and alcohol and use the cash on us instead. Please stop forcing your failed dreams onto me. I have my own dreams. I don't want to live for you. I want to live for myself. If this is called being selfish, then I am selfish. I hate you. You were selfish and I always came in last. I was unbelievably happy the day I left for good. If it makes you feel good or bad, I had nightmares, and still do, at 55 years old. You're always chasing me, trying to catch up while I'm frantically running away. So glad when you both died. This is my honest truth. I love you, but I do not like you. Please be quiet and listen. Politics, man. Exposing all the shitty people. Mine would be very similar. Something like, the two of you can be the kindest, most generous people in the world. You'll spend an entire day helping a neighbor just because they need it. But your politics make you hateful, spiteful, fearful people. It colors the way I see you as people, and ultimately makes me question just how much I should put up with. I don't want to go to med school. I want to be a mechanic. Speaking as someone who dropped out of law school to go be a baker, be a mechanic. You really don't want to take on that kind of debt for something that's only going to make you miserable. Life is too short to spend most of it unhappy. I don't know from where, but I have such a deep love and passion for motorcycles. I could spend days watching YouTube videos of restorations, mechanical stuff, racing, everything. I don't have to try to like learning this. My dad hates them though. He's very anti-everything motorcycle related. He's a doctor, my older sibling is gonna be one too, and me being the career clueless kid, I thought this was what I'm supposed to be as well. Honestly, I hate getting out of bed every day thinking I have to study more and more, not having enough good results, and never catching up. But I'm so worried of not letting my parents down that I can't bring myself to tell them. A mechanic? A mediocre job in a well-known family of doctors. Unacceptable. That's what I think they would say. I've never been taken seriously about this passion. It also doesn't help that I'm a girl. You're a great child but a terrible parent. Now that I have children, I realize that 1, you were good parents, and 2, you were also really bad at some things. In other words, you're not perfect and never will be, but you did show me love, and that is pretty damn important. Dad, you're a narcissist. I'm sorry for myself that I loved you as much as I did. Mom, I was a child. I shouldn't have been your emotional substitute for your husband. You needed to divorce him years ago. Ultimately, both of you failed near completely raising a whole, balanced child, and though I understand you didn't know what you were doing, I will still never forgive you. I'm going to spend the rest of my life cleaning up the mess you made with me when I didn't know any better. You stole my childhood. There's a reason I moved across the continent alone. You wouldn't have stopped the abuse. If you had known, you did know. I only stopped talking about it because it was obvious nothing was changing. Our relationship is damaged because you are manipulative and never put in the work, despite many, many chances. My sister is an addict because you enabled her behavior and gave her the poison so she would stay with you. It breaks my heart that you love my sister more than me. I have worked my fingers to the bone 10+ years to make you proud, and yet no matter what plans we have, you always drop them for her. She's running from a 6 felony case where her co-defendant got 31 years. She had open heart surgery because of an infected needle on Thanksgiving and still refuses to get clean. She's stolen from all of us. She's brought dirty needles into your house and around children. She's broken into my home and stolen my savings. Twice. You still have a kid who wants a relationship with you. But your actions to enable an addict might cause an insurmountable rift. Pretty sure your Christianity addiction is just poor man's therapy. But it's not therapy. The opiate of the masses just masks the actual problems, to which the solution is intense, real therapy, not pray more. My parents are just as bad. Why not a condom, huh? Why? I'm bi. Hey Dad, remember the time you lent me your car and I told you I got robbed? I actually just forgot where I parked and never found it. It could still be there to this day. I wish I could tell my mother how much I love her and how wonderful of a job I think she did raising me. Sadly, the consequence is that I'd be speaking to a gravestone as she passed away unexpectedly of a heart attack 6 months ago at 54 years old. Fortunately, I told her these things often while she was still alive, so I have no regrets. My suggestion is that you don't know when your parents might leave this world. Say what you must, good or bad, in such a way that you won't carry regrets when they do pass. It could be at any time. I kinda did this. I told her she was a terrible mother while walking out for the last time. I wished her good luck and never looked back. It's been 5, maybe 6 years. Save for the fact that she found my address and sent me a card for my birthday. I've not heard from her. Life is infinitely better. Toxic people are dangerous to you regardless of blood relation. You can and should leave that relationship behind you. I don't love you because you're racist and homophobic. I only pretend to because I'm still financially relying on you. Also, I'm transgender and dating a man. Get over it. To my biological father, you've abandoned me when I was little. You left my mother and I for drugs. Now you want to come back in my life? Especially now that I hadn't heard from you in 30 years? Go fuck yourself. I've hated you for always putting your other kids and yourself before me. I know my dad cheated on my mom. It bothers me and I want to talk about it, but I probably never will. That I love them both and appreciate everything they've ever done for me. That would be without consequences anyway. Someone nutting in you then letting it stew for 9 months doesn't make you a mother. It makes you a toaster oven. You never took care of your kids, you failed them over and over again and never took any accountability. And then you wonder why they all struggled with addiction when you kicked them out if they couldn't pay rent, all the while giving hundreds to the church every week. Mom, I hate your cooking. What would you tell your parents if there were no consequences? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.